to Hashem. We have to push ourselves a little bit, sometimes make ourselves a little uncomfortable to host people, our family, our friends, whatever opportunities you have, whatever's within your comfort level. So here's the first one, which talks about how important the mitzvah is. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter used to say that he had often heard people in a synagogue calling out to strangers passing by, Kedusha, Kedusha, come in, we need a minyan, or we need to say Kedusha. And he said, come and join us. But he says he never heard people sitting down to a meal call out to strangers out the window passing by, a meal, come and join us. So we should look at the meal at this. It's an equal level mitzvah. It's a mitzvah from the Torah. So we should look at it that way as important. Here's another one, which Avraham went to great lengths to host the angels that came to visit him. And so this is a story about the Chafetz Chaim. A Rav once, Big Rav explained, one night he once ate a Friday night meal at the home of the Chafetz Chaim. He was very surprised that the Chafetz Chaim did Shalom Aleichem in the opposite order. First he did Kiddush. He didn't come home and do Shalom Aleichem. First he did Kiddush. They sat down to eat, and then they did Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem is a song that we sing, welcoming in the angels. And this Rav asked him, why'd you switch the order? First do Shalom Aleichem, then you did Kiddush. He says, he goes, I saw my guests and I said, most probably they're hungry. And I wanted them to eat right away. And the angels who we greet through that song, they're not hungry and they can wait. Okay? But the message is that sometimes we make these religious actions or customs primary when really there's somebody in front of us. They need to eat. They need to be fed. And that's the central mitzvah. Here's another one. Avram did the mitzvah by himself. He didn't wait for his servants or anybody to help the angels when they came to visit him. So we should do it by ourselves. This is also the name of the Chafetz Chaim. When the members of the Chafetz Chaim's household would see him preparing a bed for a guest, they would tell him not to bother and to let them attend to such preparations. It's below you to do that. And he says, well, when it comes to the mitzvah of putting on tefillin, would you like to fulfill it for me and not have me bother? And you wouldn't say that to me. Therefore, I'm going to do this myself because it's a mitzvah that I can do. I'm going to do it by myself. The last one is we shouldn't really try not to discriminate. Try to be open to whoever we can host, treat them properly. This is a story about Rabbi Isser Zalman Meltzer. He thought the Chazon Ish was coming to his house. He heard a message. Somebody said the Chazon Ish is coming to the neighborhood, so he wanted to host him. It turns out it wasn't really the Chazon. He got his whole house ready. He was prepared to host the Chazon Ish, one of the Gdolei Ador. Turns out this was a gentleman who looked like Chazon Ish, had like a beard, but he wasn't the Chazon Ish. This gentleman came to his house. Everyone thought it was the Chazon Ish. Turns out it was just run-of-the-mill, a very nice guy with a beard. So it says, nevertheless, he welcomed him in. He's already prepared. So he says, would you like some cake? Would you like some tea? The guest was a little bit confused, as the story goes, at this regal treatment. And he says, I just wanted to ask something of the Rosh Yeshiva. So he came to ask him for an introductory letter. He wanted to go overseas to raise funds. So Rav Meltzer sat down, he wrote him the letter, took out his pen, he wrote a very warm letter. And as he left, he walked him all the way to the street, he gave him something to eat, walked him all the way to the street, treated him properly. Later on, his family asked, Rabbi, you're a big Rav yourself. Why are you doing all this? It wasn't the Chazon Ish, it was just some guy. And he says, I was going to give the Chazon Ish all this honor. Doesn't mean this mitzvah is any less to treat this individual this way as well. Now that I was prepared, I'm going to treat him with royal treatment. And so this teaches us these stories teach us the importance of the mitzvah. Just pay attention. They each compare the mitzvah to something very holy. The first one compares it to Kedusha in the shul, like to getting a minyan and saying Kedusha. The other one compares it to angels with the Shalom Aleichem story. We have tefillin, and then we have the Chazon Ish. So this mitzvah is a very high-level mitzvah. Sometimes I think it can be annoying at times. You're like, oh, this person, they need a place to stay, or, oh, come on, can't you just arrange your own meal, or oh, I want to be with my family. We have to push ourselves a little bit. It's a very holy mitzvah. It's a great opportunity, and a great reward comes in its way.